Hey guys, um, yeah, it's January 4th. Uh, I'm here at this like Frisco sort of mall or whatever. It doesn't seem like there's many people here right now, but I've been knocking out I think I'm in like September or October of the book, and sort of talking about chapter 13 of the book of Revelation, and I'm sort of going through the items that my mother had mentioned to me for the past several months. I just wrapped up the Battle of Armageddon and all the artists that I'd like to show up there, make it a battle of the minds. Because it's, hey God, how are you? You're the king of the jungle, man. Let me back up so we can see you too. Something like that. The light. Anyway, I wrapped that up. Some other stuff, Babylon. It's really syncing together. It should be very nice. Maybe it's about a 2-hour read. Not sure who is going to read it, but I know that it's January 4th, and comes quickly. The noisome and grievous sores start on January 19th for 5 months. People pray for death, and then we kick off the 13-month period. I'm like, how do I get people to say, look, it's a 1 out of 100 billion shot, maybe 3 out of 100 billion shot of all the human beings that have ever been alive on this earth, i.e. 100 billion, who could actually, be the person who could buck the trend and deliver the goods. Moses did it, Jesus did it, and in 2018, James, he's working on it now. You got to explain to people, look, it's a tough message. You know me, just people I know. You know me, so give this a hard look. And here's the information. Here's the book. Here's the movie that started it out. These are the links. Here's where my head's at. We're going to restore the line of David. The message is tough, but you can go literally and just say, you know what? I know James. I'm going to look at this thing, give it a hard look, and then my suggestion is just walk from anything you're doing right now. You get 18 months and 2 weeks as it stands. 18 months, 2 weeks, like a day or two. And at least look at it. What's tough is, when someone presents to you information, it's like you want to put it in a category that you already know. But with this, it's uncomfortable, and this is why Jesus was murdered. You've got to say, fuck, this challenges my entire belief system. But you go to heaven on earth. You're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gone. Whatever, I need to survive for 18 months. I don't care. And it's overwhelming, and I can't imagine what people are going to feel like when they're like, they start to tip over and come to my side. Right now, I'm all alone. I'm just a guy with the McDonald's cup. There's whiskey in there. A coat, a pack of cigarettes, and God, the king of the jungle. But over time, more and more people are going to come to me. Not that I want them to, but I'm willing to accept that because that's my responsibility. And to hear this from someone that you've met, imagine someone that you've met before says, "Hey, look, I'm the second son of God. I'm not God. That whole Jesus thing about being God, that was wrong. Jesus heard me right now. It's okay. But you have an 18-month clock, and it's sort of your decision right now. I've looked at this thing hard. If you look at it, you're going to understand. It's your choice whether you want to look at it or not, and then your choice whether you want to decide which way to go. But I'm telling you, this is the only solution, and it's the happiest solution. You're like, basically, you can stand up from work and go on vacation right now, but everything you've been working toward is, going to turn out to be false. But after this whole stretch, because Hashem, God, has ordained it, this thing works out on my side. The guy with the the whiskey, crappy coat, working on a book. He's been on vacation for basically 18 months. And Hashem. We're the winners here. It's so fucked up, it inverts everything. The meek shall inherit the earth is what they're talking about. And then if you want to cling to your own life, discard this to, well, not the 1 or the 3 out of 100 billion shot. 100 billion means like every human being that's ever been alive on the face of the earth. If you want to disregard that and go with the, rest of humans who've maybe ever claimed this or whatever, the odds are in your favor that I'm wrong. But if you have to separate yourself from medicine and psychology and religion and all that stuff, all the reasons I shouldn't be the right guy, you have to think of who you know as a person. And I can't help but think of my first date with Natasha. I was pulling her into a restaurant. She didn't think that I had a reservation. She was ready to go home. The first thing that she was thinking as I was like, well, let's just try this last restaurant, me knowing that, yes, I have a reservation inside. The first thing that I was thinking as I pulled her into the restaurant was the last thing she was thinking when she sat down. And the smile on her face when she sat down at that table is an example of, like my Aunt Emily would say, with James, you never know. You never know what he's going to do. You never know how it's going to turn out. And she was right. Because despite the fact that only 3 people or 2 people in the history of the human species have ever pulled this off. And I claimed this in 2018, an age of data, science, the flesh, when it should be impossible. Because I am who I claim to be, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. I'm going to pull this thing off. I'm doing so right now with my whiskey, pack of cigarettes, roar, and all that. Oh, I'm sorry. And God. See how that little thing popped up? Yeah, that's God. He gets all the recognition here. It's not me. I just figured out how he communicates. And then the rest is history. But it's a tough one. And I can't imagine, getting this abruptly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to notify everyone that I know and I care about and say, look, you know me. Don't think about the odds and all that stuff. Think about what you know of me. This is the real deal. And then I'll gather my saints. And then we'll be safe. Not that I want anything to happen to anyone else, but when everyone else catches wind of this, we're going to go through the most tumultuous time in the history of the human species. And we will never have this time again. It doesn't want us to feel pain. It's ourselves. And the idea of Satan or doubt, the thing that, what shouldn't ever be able to happen, it's happening. Because the guy who never gave up, just like his father, Gary, who knows exactly where the Ark of the Covenant is, but the guy who never gave up has his whiskey, his cigarettes, his coat, and he's writing. There will be no illness. Over time, we will beat death. The line of David gets restored, and because of my dad, Gary, will reveal Hashem, his altar, what contains the 10 Commandments, which aren't just an artifact, but if you practice them and have them as a screen in your mind for every thought that you have, and if you break one, it's okay. He knows. He's heard everything. He heard Hitler's thoughts. He gives you a lot of leeway. But if you have them as a screen, and you say, God, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, he understands you were operating in a broken system, and he'll deliver the goods. Just like I'm going to deliver the goods with, mind you, the whiskey, the cigarettes, coat and the hat, and the lion. The look on Natasha's face when I come out of left field and pull the impossible off. Not because but because he, the king of the jungle, exists. The only reason I'm here is because she didn't believe in him, and I was comfortable losing everything I had to prove that he exists, because I knew that I couldn't be with a woman who didn't at least believe in God. Not religion. Religion dies on this one, but God. And he said, he saw the whole thing. And everyone hated my movie and my message and all. Everyone hated it except my friend Daniel. And God, he saw the whole thing. And now I win all of it. Not that I want money or celebrity. I don't give a shit about that. I want to protect human beings who believe in him, who waited for this. And I want the love of my life to finally be in a system that experiences no pain. Her parents never get sick. It's very important to her. If she loses a parent, parents never get sick. My hope is we can catch this thing at the last minute and they never die. It's going to get bumpy between now and then, but it's okay. Because he has this whole thing fucking clocked. It's not a simulation. Computing power is impossible. The amount of computing power to actually even, simulate an atom with its electrons would take up something the size of the universe. What he is, it's something totally next level, and to be able at the end of this, after I'm murdered, I will be murdered, but to be able to sit next to him on his throne. You got the guy, Hashem. I'm all in it, man. And if I can come back, get resuscitated or resurrected, whatever you want to call it, get the girl of my dreams, and then go to a global peace deal, no illness or anything like that. Plus, we can live in Manhattan. A lion eats, or has a hunt and kills, and then will sleep for like 20 hours a day. Every day he sleeps 20 hours, even if he doesn't kill anything. But if he has a big kill, he'll sleep for a whole day. Now me, it's the Lion of the tribe of Judah. I'll give it everything I have for 3.5 years, just like Jesus did with his ministry. When he was killed and resurrected, I'll get killed, but I'll be resurrected. I'll come back, and you'll see me just sleeping in some sort of temple or whatever the fuck it is, some throne in Manhattan. And the lioness will be there to field any sort of calls with human beings. And I will just sit there. It'll be me and God. And I would just tell him how cool he is. And if he needs me to know anything, that'll be fine. Otherwise, I'll just have the Davidic line hopefully installed at the UN. And if there's ever a war that wants to break out, right before Secretary General of the UN will pick up, be like, hey guys, just one sec. Go pick up the Davidic line. It's like the bat phone. And then either myself or one of my direct descendants will always be there to pick up the phone, and we will never have a war again. Because show up with an open mind, unbiased, no politics. Hear both sides. 4 hours for one party, 4 hours for another party. 2 hours worth of cross-examination on one side, just Q&A, and then another 2 hours for the other side, and then reset. 4 hours of straight thinking, and then coming with a final decision. You rule all nations with a rod of iron, which just means it's the cushest job in the world. You're always there to pick up a phone, but really no one bothers you unless two factions, could be two countries or a group of countries and another group of countries or whatever, want to go to war. Secretary General picks up the phone and says, let me get the Davidic line. Boom. And then the lion picks out. Or, whoever, the ram, or the crab, or whoever it is, all the way down until the final descendant, a girl. She'll be the lioness of Judah. She'll basically be a reincarnation of the love of my life. The sharpest mind that ever walked the face of the earth. It'll be her. And then he, Hashem, will get his final purpose met, or the final expectation met of this whole game. And that's to have where he can't foresee anything in the future because there's no more time. You knock out one of his legs. So all he has is total control but he can't anticipate anything. And at that last moment before the whole game resets, that's when the lioness makes the judgment call. And we battle God. Not in a way that we just want to give him a run for his money. And I can't do it. I'm a slow and steady kind of guy. I'll keep chipping away. I get it from my mom and my dad. They're Aries. They're like the Rams. They just keep going. That's what I'm like, but I'm also the lion. But the lioness, quickest mind, the hunter, the huntress, she, 1,000 years from now, she'll give God a run for his money, and we'll battle God. Have a nice day, guys. January 4th, 2018. Whiskey, the cigarettes, which I'm going to have now, and of course I have the coat. So, can't believe I recorded all this. See ya.